All right, let's get to this week 17, shall we? Let's get the football going. Obviously, on the 25th of December, Kansas City beat Pittsburgh. They clinched the AFC top seed. All roads to Super Bowl go through Kansas City. So don't act like you don't know. Pittsburgh's fighting for their lives. We'll see what happens with Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. Mike Tomlin, great coach and everything. You just can't, two things working against you. Now, in recent memory, you can't get that legit quarterback. And two, you're dealing with dynasty once in a lifetime dominant quarterbacks and teams, a la Tom Brady and Belichick in New England, and now a la Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in Kansas City. Other than that, you're right in them between it, but oh man, Baltimore beat Houston, and Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry had a feast. CJ Strauss didn't bother showing up. I think they spent more time watching Beyonce plant her feet in the end zone because they sure as heck didn't. That was a one sided affair. That came and went. Baltimore is in the playoffs, could be a very dangerous team. I'm telling you, the AFC got so many intriguing stories. It's a shame it's only one situation because it's crazy. Seattle beat Chicago. That was watching paint dry. Caleb Williams, interesting rumor. Pete Carroll wants to come out of retirement and maybe coach him. Might be one of the few things that can save him, the USC connection, but Chicago's offense has not been the same since I lost to Washington, and this is very glaring. Seattle's then playoff hopes, we don't really know what they gonna do because Gino and them are so inconsistent. It's they're just another run of the mill team, but just saying. All right, now let's get to the regular game. After that, now the weekend had some, and these were all crap games, by the way. The Chargers spanked New England. They're going to the playoffs. Joe Harbaugh looked really good. Justin Herbert actually finally played like that talent he's got. New England is so pathetic. And Robert Kraft, you might want to stay somewhere in some place that you can avoid even knowing this team because it went from bad to worse. Mr. Mayo, you got your work cut off for you. New England got a lot of work to do. Ironically, the game of the few days before Sunday was Cincinnati and Denver. Two teams fighting for a playoff spot. When the overtime, one of the best quarterbacks who might not even make the postseason in the AFC, of course, Joe Burrow, led them over Denver. Bo Nixon has played pretty good in spurts, but the Bengals' defense is horrible. And you got to think about, and if the Bengals had any kind of defense, Burrow would be an MVP consideration. He might fool around and get it. Just a simple situation where they underachieved on they're pathetic on defense, and they let him down terribly. Now we get into you really won? The Giants showed up and beat the Colts. Now, if you're a Bengals fan, that's good. The Colts had Joe Flacco. Where he uses his time of year to shine. They forgot to play defense. The Giants tore their behind up. When did the Giants crack a 40 burger on you? It's amazing. As horrible as they've been all year and all the blimp signs and the flyer signs, why do you want to win now when you know you got to secure that lottery pick? What are you doing, Giants? The other game I forgot to mention earlier on was the Rams beat Arizona, who I think are going to be a very dangerous team. If they get in the playoffs, they could be a dangerous team. Just thinking. As far as Arizona, Kyler Murray, you need the right coach, and things have to be focused because they got something there. They got to figure out how to make it cohesive. They don't finish games, and that's what's been their problem. They had opportunities to be a lot better. Seattle aside, other games they lost, they could have been a lot better than what they were. Now, I guess it's the Baker Mayfield Bowl, and he spanked Carolina. If that's some kind of luxury to say that you did, Bryce Young looking like every bit of 4-12. I gave Carolina hope. I got a buddy out there, and I always told him, say, y'all got good for that 5 wins and a tie. Baker Mayfield threw 5 touchdowns, and I'm going to have to hear some people who are Baker Mayfield fans gloat that he did something. Oh, boy. You lit up Carolina. Oh, boy. Don't get too excited. But you are in the playoffs, and it looks like you're going to win the division. I'll get into that in a little bit. You got a good chance. My Buffalo Bills beat the Jets. Spanked they butt. But I can't get excited. Yeah, we put a 40 burger on them, but Tyrod Taylor is the only reason why the Jets scored points. But Aaron Rodgers, he got to stop making everybody's defense look good. I mean, we look too good. I don't mind him out there doing it, though, because he's going to blame the birds and the stars and the molecules why he needs to go sit his behind down. He's 40 and he looks like he's 80 and he needs to go somewhere and sit down. He's stinking it up, throwing bad picks and blaming everybody. cameraman included, and the cheerleaders and the pom-poms. Why he stinks so bad. He need to go somewhere and sit down. As for the Bills, they did what they rebounded better than they did against New England, but they still got some worry about the ground game. They got to be very careful against certain formations. But beating the Jets is no biggie, and the division is a laughing stock for the most part. Minnesota beat Green Bay. It was a battle of who's more believable, and it ended pretty closely. The problem with the Packers is they tend to always play this come from behind role. They do good against scrub, the second tier, and tomato can teams, but top tier teams, they have a tendency to kind of stumble and struggle. That might be their Achilles. Matt LaFleur got to work on that. Minnesota did a good job on Jordan Love for the most part. Sam Darnold was pretty accurate. And Minnesota is the team that no one's talking about. Still question marks of how for real they are. But the one thing's for sure, this was a huge win. And they could be a problem in the playoffs. As for Green Bay, you better hope you can turn the magic on in the postseason, because a lot of it looks like you stat up nicely, but you don't stack up good against legit teams. So it's going to be telling. Then we get into, why did you win again? What's up with Las Vegas playing like they playing for some of the last 2 weeks, playing the best ball they played after stinking it up for most of the season? And of course, New Orleans been tanking lately, so it's like, why are these teams going in backwards ways when they were looking different ways? It's confusing. Because if I told you just 5 weeks ago New Orleans may still had a chance to come out the NFC South, you would have laughed at me. But now they going for the tank. I don't understand. In Vegas, why are you even trying to win? I don't even know. It's just a joke. Bad. You know, Brock Bowers, the tight end, broke Mike Dicker's record for tight ends. There is nothing to get excited about if you're a Raiders fan or Saints fan. And this other game, Jacksonville beat Tennessee. What am I supposed to do with that? Mac and Cheese Jones wins the game. Oh, wow. He's fighting Trevor Lawrence for starting job. The Prince is turned into a frog in Jacksonville. Doug Peterson will probably be gone. And they horrible. And as for Tennessee, well, they didn't fell off bad. Bad. And Miami beat Cleveland. I feel for Myles Garrett. We talked about him in the live stream. I think he's the truth, but they suck. And Doran Robinson, the quarterback, oh boy. Jameson, I don't know. Now, Tyler Huntley was playing for Miami. He did some good. He did pretty good, but somebody, of course, you're going to beat Cleveland. Cleveland is an open doormat to stomp all over. That's not a surprise. Miami, believe it or not, for as soft as they are, as cuddly-wuddly as they are, and can't play in the cold and can't too inferior, they got a slim chance of still getting in the postseason. That says a lot for how bad they were for most of the season. Philly beat Dallas. Saquon Barkley, I'm going to do a video about that. He got a chance to beat Eric Dickerson's record next week if he gets a little over 100 plus. And Dallas, Cooper Rush look like Cooper Rush. When he plays against Philly, he looks like his third tier legit self. Against all these other teams, he flirts looking like a low budget first, high second. But against a team like the Eagles, who put him in his proper place, he looks like a third tier quarterback who should be holding a clipboard. Because they got their butt handed to them. They tried to get physical with Philly. Philly tore their butt up. Meathead McCarthy and them all need to be gone. You got up there and you got stomped out by Philly twice at home and in Philly. They put a 70-piece burger on your butt in both places. I don't think you butt scored 20 points combined against them in 2 game losses this year. Should tell you, you're not in their league. Roll over and play dead, Dallas. Because you are pathetic. And I don't want to hear nobody say, well, you got a chance, you got 7 winners. They suck. Okay? Stop the nonsense. Even Stephen A. Smith stopped the sniggling in the chair routine with them about week 8. It's been done. This season, they quit on the team halfway of the season. Okay? They just been going through the motions, and they got it handed to them yesterday. And the last game, which was last night, Washington, Atlanta, went in overtime. And let me tell you something. There were people clowning Atlanta for getting Michael Penix. Michael Penix Jr. is legit. I don't think he's going to be the second coming of Michael Vick as a quarterback in Atlanta. Not just yet, what have you. Because I like Bijan Robinson, who's wearing Vick's number, which is crazy. And he was running. But I like what Raheem Morris has got with Atlanta. But they got to play some defense. They got to know how to finish. Jaden Daniels, man, I'm going to tell you something. Washington, Dan Snyder should get some Coach of the Year consideration. They definitely know how to finish. They put you on the edge of your seat if you happen to be a Washington fan or you rooting for them. but they're playoff bound. They are a feisty team. What I like about Daniels, he's got that can't quit mentality. That could be a problem in the postseason. Washington is definitely battle tested, definitely gonna be a problem. And gonna just say, keep your eye on them. Keep your eye on them because um Washington clinched the playoffs. It could be a problem. They just got to work on their defense a bit, and they got things they got to do. They're a young team, but they got a future here. Them that could be problematic. So respect to Washington. And next game tomorrow, I'll do Detroit, San Francisco tomorrow. The Lions should spank the 49ers. If they lose that game to the 49ers and Dan Campbell's shtick and gimmicks could be in a problem in the postseason. And that makes Minnesota back in the mix. And Philadelphia already looks like the best team. So that's a huge game for the Lions. Plus, they get to avenge that loss that they had against the 49ers, too. I don't think people thought this was going to turn out the way it did. We shall see. That's week 17 so far. Let me know how your team did below, what you think. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.